Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Okay, everybody, we have so much news to cover when it comes to the Slayton meet and greet that happened virtually on September 19th. And wow, so much came out of this. Y'all really pulled through and helping me get the receipts. I have some of my own receipts. Yeah, there's just so much to talk about, but I think what we can do right now is confirm that there will be a season 2 of 1,000 Pound Sisters. Before we get into all of that though, the person with the hottest of takes right now on YouTube is my co-host Judy. So Judy, just give us a little bit. Give us a little bit of what's on your mind. Judy.
It's been too long since we have addressed beans on this channel, but okay, let's do a third video on the Slaytons in 1 week.
Alright, let me know what y'all think about what Judy had to say down below. But without further ado, 911 pop emergency. Lady Gaga is out here singing the 911 song because we have a 1,000 Pound Sisters emergency. We got some news. Now, y'all, before I get into it, if you didn't know, I've already made 2 whole other videos about this. I'm gonna make sure to link them down below, also up in the iCards at different points in this video. I'm just saying all of that because I've heard a number of you say, like, Zach, I didn't get a notification. I didn't know that. Zach, I'm not subscribed YouTubey, subscribe. I'm not subscribed anymore. Zach, what do I do? So just make sure that you're subscribed, you got the bell button. You might get a notification, you might not, but I've been posting videos. My goal has been to post like twice a week. So just make sure you're checking it every once in a while because I've been posting. A lot of people also been commenting like, oh my God, welcome back, Zach. Y'all, I took a break for a month back in June. She's been back. She's been back posting since July. So just make sure you're coming back and you're checking in. And also, like, a lot of this is gonna sound brand new if you haven't watched my other 2 Slayton sister videos. So make sure to go check those out. And then come on back to this video and I'll get y'all caught up on the latest stuff that happened and why I can say pretty wholeheartedly that season 2 will be happening of 1,000 Pound Sisters. So the other 2 videos, long story short, to recap, they announced they were gonna have a meet and greet. It was somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, in a park. The next day they posted and said, oh my God, we sold out 200 RSVPs, no more room. And then that night they posted a new video saying, oh, we just now remembered we're in the middle of a pandemic, so we're gonna do this virtually. We're gonna do this online in a Zoom, okay? So a whole lot happened, and yesterday, so today is Sunday, it's September 20th when I'm filming this, and yesterday, September 19th, they had a whole Zoom meeting. So the meet and greet itself, actually, I think, like, having pieced together all of the different receipts and stuff I got from people about what happened in it, it really happened in 3 different parts. The first part was specifically for the people that had already RSVP'd to the event. So, like Amy and Tammy said on their own channel, they had received like 200 RSVPs of people who said they were gonna come, going to attend, going to be there, going to come and meet them. So they started with those people. Now, as I'm talking, I wanna say that I've gotten a lot of different things, and the only things I'm putting in this video are the things that I 100% believed to have happened. Now, I also want to say that I'm really trying to respect people who signed contracts, signed their lives away to TLC. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. So I'm just saying that these are things I believe to be true. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But I'm not gonna give you everything I got because, I respect people and I appreciate that people are trying to, help me get the tea so I can get y'all the tea. So just, go along with me. I believe these things to be true, but this is all speculation. It's all speculating, okay? So just roll with me, okay? So what happened in the first part is that they invited the folks that had already signed up through this RSVP to come into this like waiting room of a Zoom. So you come into this Zoom and you're waiting, and there's like a producer lady is there, and she's like vetting the people that are interviewing, which I think is important and makes sense, okay? But you know, on the Zoom screen, it says like 1,000 Pound Sisters, so it's like, this is a part of a show. She's making people sign NDAs, making people sign, you know, consent to be on the show too, because that's also important. In fact, like, my understanding is that if anybody had like additional folks, like some people had like kids running around in the background, and they said, you better sign some consent for all these kids, otherwise you might be cut. You might be cut from the TV show. So if you want to be on TV, then everybody needs to sign it, right? So they were trying to vet these people though. They were trying to really, really vet and make sure that these people were actually fans and not just haters, which I've mentioned in my last video. I was kind of concerned that a lot of people were just gonna come in and be rude as hell to Amy and Tammy, and like 100%, I love to watch, I love to joke and laugh, and I think that they're very entertaining, but I was actually very seriously concerned that like folks were just gonna show up and say like really mean and hateful shit, and I don't think that that's fun, right? Like, there's a lot to like laugh with them, laugh at them, right? I think to some extent they're a little bit in on the joke. I think TLC's a little bit in on the joke. But like, I was really worried people were just gonna come say like rude things, and that's not fun to watch. Like, nobody wants to watch that, right? So they're vetting these people, and I have to say, the sis that was like interviewing everybody, trying to vet them and make sure that they were okay, she thought she was really cracking the code, that she was on the case, that she had it all figured out, but she was asking the most basic questions. I'm like, girl, if you had me in there, listen, I'm not a hater. I am a fan. I am a fan of the show. I'm not a hater. But if I was, and you were interviewing me, these questions would have been so easy for me to just lie through my teeth. Every single person she asked, are you a fan or a hater? Well, what kind of hater is gonna come in there and say, yeah, I absolutely despise Tammy and Amy, let me go meet them and tell them that to their friends. They're not gonna put that person on TV, so why would a hater go in there and say that? The real trolls are gonna put the act on, and they're gonna say, oh yes, I love them. They're my favorite. I watch every single YouTube video they post. I've seen the 1,000 Pound Sisters 12 times. People who are the real trolls are not gonna let you know until the moment is right? Like, they're gonna wait until they're in the room with Amy and Tammy to like let you know that they're a hater. At one point even said like, everybody here is a real, genuine fan, right? Like, we don't have any haters in here. Again, what do you think people are gonna say to that, girl? You know, some of the other questions she was asking is like, which of the two girls is your favorite? Do you have any like favorite YouTube videos of theirs? Is there a favorite moment of them that they had on the show that you liked? And they also were asking people where they were from and if they were actually planning on coming to the meet and greet. Because there were people from all over that had found their way to this RSVP, which was another kind of concern of mine. Like, I kind of felt like a lot of people were just gonna sign up and take a spot and then not actually show up, right? So they were asking that and all of those things. They were also encouraging folks to not necessarily just focus on the show, which I think is probably because they don't want to break like the fourth wall of like acknowledging that they're filming a TV show and that people might be fans of these girls because they are on the TV show and not, you know, the first season really tried to make the Slaytons out to be these like big social media stars. And so I think they really wanted to focus on that part of the storyline still, and not the part where like maybe they got some more fame and notoriety because they were on this TLC show. There was allegedly somebody who had actually driven all the way to the place in Kentucky where they're supposed to have a meet and greet, and it was maybe their birthday, and you know, like maybe they were gonna like have some t-shirts to be signed, and it really made me think, like, y'all couldn't have found a better, like, when people signed up through Eventbrite, you couldn't send them all, like, a mass email saying, hey, by the way, like, don't leave your homes, don't get in a car, don't book any hotels, like, it's not worth it to come all this way, we're gonna do everything virtually. I thought that was kind of sus, like, on TLC's part. I certainly don't blame Amy and Tammy for that at all, like, they were not planning that, right? So I just really think that was sus on TLC's part. Like, you're really wasting people's time, money, energy, resources. The other thing is that the producer had a really hard time remembering to mute themselves, including one part where they maybe allegedly might have been listening to Zachary Michael's YouTube channel.
You need it. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Give us the tea. Give us the tea.
I hope Mama Satan makes a comeback
What
in
is
season
that?
2.
Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel.
Girl, is this the dude that be talking shit?
I guess so.
He comes to the meet and greet?
No, I don't know. I'm a weed. Yeah, he sound like Chris.
Y'all,
Squeaking.
breaking news, not a drill. Detective Zach is on the case.
Detective
Okay?
Zach.
He is out here, and he has cracked the code. Y'all, listen, TLC, hit me up. I would love to do a paid interview, a not paid interview. I would love a cameo. I would love to be on the show. You let me know if you want an exclusive interview with the Zachary Michael. If you're out there watching, would love to be a part of the journey, the season, you know? Make my reality TV dreams come true, sis. In all, during this first part, allegedly there were maybe 4 to 6 people present. Very different, okay? Very different from the 200 people that had signed up for this meet and greet. Like, maybe y'all could have actually done it in real life at the park in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. I'm just saying. So because of that, I think they transitioned into a second part because I think they realized, one, we're probably not gonna get enough footage just from these like 4 to 6 people, and 2, it's kind of been put out there that there were supposed to be 200 people coming, and if we only have footage of 4 or 6 people, that's not gonna be a good look. People are gonna know something is up. So if you didn't see, Amy and Tammy actually posted on Amy's YouTube channel saying, hey, the Zoom link's open, come meet us, come meet and greet us. And the camera quality was back to a potato. I'm not gonna include the clip because at this point, like, it was literally like 9 seconds long, so I'll just put a photo up so you can see the kind of camera quality that they went back to. I mean, listen, look out for those potatoes. Technology of the future. So the way the second part worked, I did go to this briefly, momentarily, because listen, y'all, I have very little social life during this pandemic. I don't do a whole lot. But one of Noel's old roommates, who has been like in my quarantine pod for the past 6 months of my life, had already made plans to come over, hang out with me and Noel, and I was not gonna give it up for that. Like, I was not gonna give up my friend to go sit in this meet and greet and know that potentially maybe they wouldn't even put me in it, okay? Like, I might not even get to meet Amy and Tammy. I went in there for a while, and when I got into there, it was chaotic. The chat was chaotic. There was this producer person who was like yelling at people, telling them they had to sign their NDAs. Basically what it kind of looked like to me is that you could go in, put your email into a chat, the producer would send the like electronic contract for you to sign. You had to sign it, and then they would slowly call people to, kind of maybe vet them. Although I'm gonna be honest, from what I allegedly saw from the first part and what I saw with my own eyes from the second part, there was not a lot of vetting. It was like, it was like, hey, cool, you like these girls? Great. All right, let's put you in a room. So I really feel like they were just at that point trying to get numbers to try to, you know, make this story something more for the episode than what it really was, which was, you know, at the end of the day, maybe only 4 or 6 people actually followed through with trying to meet them. But when you got to this chat, it was chaotic because this woman was yelling. There were clear trolls in the chat itself. There was somebody who had the name Thick Ass Tammy, okay? So that was a thing. And there are people that were saying that it was a scam. I, at one point, heard the producer lady shout, like, this isn't a scam, this is real. And it just seemed super chaotic to me for the whole, like, 5 to 10 minutes that I was actually in the little, like, Zoom waiting room. So a few people were kind enough to share their experience from this particular part of the meet and greet. And to be honest, I feel a little bit better about, like, speaking to these things because, one, I was in there and saw some of these things. 2, like, you didn't necessarily have to sign anything just to be in the waiting room. In fact, like, I'm guessing a lot of the people that were in there didn't sign anything. And 3, this was like open to the public, so anybody could have seen it. So one person reached out to me and said this: all I know about the meeting is that it was hella unprofessional. At the beginning, she was just insulting people who kept asking why they weren't getting emails and name dropping her YouTube channel. Then she tried to expedite the process to get the haters to talk to them first. It was a mess. I don't know if it's a scam or not, but it's unprofessional and disorganized if it is legit. I said, do you have any specific quotes you remember from the producer? Because I was like, okay, you're saying that she was saying all of these things, but like, what specifically did she say? And she said, she kept trying to get Thick Ass Tammy to drop their email again and said that the producer specifically requested that you talk to Tammy first, but the troll wasn't giving out the email. And then she said her YouTube channel was Bacardi Diaries or something like that. Not 100% sure. I will say I went and tried to find said YouTube channel and I can't. So I can't speak to, I didn't hear the producer talking about her own YouTube channel at any point, so I can't speak to that. But that's what this person said. And this person goes on to say, she was also playing music really loudly at the beginning and it drowned out her voice, so we couldn't hear her for like 3 minutes. I'm over it. She also wouldn't confirm that there's a season 2, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. So you can see, like, this was kind of like, maybe helps paint a picture. Like, there was little to no organization about what was going on. Like, literally, this woman was just calling out people's names based on emails. Some people's names in the Zoom chat were not the same as what they were in the emails. It was chaotic. It was very chaotic. I did talk to another person who reached out to me that actually got to follow through to the meet and greet in this part of it. So in the first part of it, all of those people got a chance to talk to Amy and Tammy, as far as I know. And in the second part, like, very few people were like actually getting through. It was taking a really long time for the process to happen, but this person actually got through, and I think that they will also, once I read it out loud for you, speak to the chaoticness of what was going on with this meet and greet. So this person said, I was supposed to meet them on Zoom, but the link the woman sent me was just the first call. And I said, wait, so you didn't get to talk to them? And then this person said, I messaged the woman in the original room. After like 10 minutes, she sent me the right link. But after that, there's more tea. The girls' microphones weren't working, so I had to be sent back into the queue to wait again after 5 minutes of awkward silence. A man who was clearly filming for the show walked past to try and fix the issue. I ended up speaking to them. They were really sweet, but it was the most awkward thing ever. I had to lead the entire convo, and at 11 p.m. my time, it isn't that easy. And I did get this person's permission to share this, just so you know. Yeah, like, that was a story that I heard from a number of people, is that, like, Amy and Tammy were really sweet, but all the conversations were, like, really awkward because they weren't really leading the conversation, and they were, like, kind of relying on fans to do it. So I think that that's also really interesting, but also I guess not something I wouldn't expect. Like, they seem to be, like, I feel like if you met them in real life, they would be relatively shy people. Like, I think in the comfort of their own homes, they probably are more open and relaxed, and like, I think that that's what we see on the actual show. I think that's what we see on their YouTube channels, but I'm sure like when they're interacting with like real life humans, that that's like a very different energy for them. So then that kind of takes me into the third part, which one person shared with me, is that at the end of it all, like after people have been waiting and waiting and waiting, finally the producer just like came on and said, "Hey everybody, thanks for waiting. I really appreciate it. I have a surprise for you." And then she brought out like Amy and Tammy into this waiting room Zoom. At least that's what I've heard. I wasn't there for this part. I will put a screenshot where I like blocked out all of the faces of the people. I did leave the names of some of the trolls up just so that like you can see that as evidence. Anybody that like had real life personal information, pictures, etc. up, I made sure to block that out. But just so you can see what happened, you'll see the producer at the top and also Tammy and Amy. So, you know, there's that as well. Like I think that that is a really kind gesture, especially since it kind of seems like the whole thing was really chaotic and maybe a lot of people were waiting around for a long time for the chance to meet them and talk to them. So I do appreciate that they brought that out at the end. That seems like a really nice thing for them to do, and I appreciate it. I would have appreciated it, I think, if I had waited that whole time and hadn't gotten a chance to actually talk to them. I'm really excited about this. I feel like this is going to be the last 1,000 Pound Sisters update for a while, at least until the season starts airing. I mean, at this point, the article that I referenced yesterday in the video said that, you know, that they've potentially been filming since July. So they've gone a really long time at this point without bringing anything related to the show up, and I kind of feel like after this, it's gonna be another really long time before we get to hear any news or things like that, just because I'm sure Amy and Tammy are very limited on what they can even post on YouTube, what kinds of content that they can put out there. I do remember at one point Amy or Tammy, or maybe both, told me via DM after the last season that like they had conversations with TLC about like, hey, we make money from YouTube, so we need to keep posting content. Like, we can't just post nothing. And so TLC let them do some of that. But, you know, I think it's very limited. I think that that's why over the past year we've seen a real change in the types of content that they're putting on their channel, if they do at all. And I think it's gonna be a while until we see any significant news after this. So I know I've given you a lot of Slayton Sister content this past week, but if that's not your gig, then you should probably be grateful that I'm gonna move on to, I don't know, watching Nikocado cry and eat food. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If it's your first video on my channel, make sure to subscribe down below, hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I go live or post a new video. Also, as always, make sure to live, laugh, love, like, comment, share, and follow me on my social media. I love you all so much. I've had so much fun with this weekend. I hope you did too, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!